This video exposes something simple and ugly. The state is working harder to protect the network around Epstein than it ever worked to protect the girls he trafficked. Look at the structure, not the circus. Pam Bondi's job in that hearing is to turn a child trafficking archive into a customer service complaint about process, computers, and the stock market. 4 computers, business hours, 24 hours notice, tracking who searches what. That is not incompetence. That is controlled access. That's how a ruling class manages a scandal that touches too many of its own. Epstein isn't just one predator. He's a logistics hub for a whole layer of elites. Cabinet officials, billionaires, royals, finance guys, political fixers. The files are dangerous because they are a map of social power. Who parties with whom, who introduces whom, who can pick up a phone and get a plea deal. So the Department of Justice doesn't slam the door, because that looks like a cover-up. It leaves the door technically open, then buries it in procedure so nobody with real power has to be named and prosecuted. Tracking which member of Congress searches which names is pure discipline. It tells every lawmaker, we see what you're curious about, and we can leak or punish if you dig in the wrong direction. That's not just Orwellian, it's workplace management for a political class. You can posture on TV, but the files themselves are under supervision. Notice who gets real consequence and who doesn't. A disgraced royal, some expendable aristocrats, a few foreign big men, maybe a media punching bag. The American core of capital and government sits behind those black bars on the page. Victims can't even see their own statements unredacted. That's the hierarchy, abusers at the top, their facilitators in the middle, and the survivors still treated as a risk to be controlled. Bondi's performance about the Dow at 50,000 is the tell. She literally tries to change the subject from systemic protection of traffickers to stock market gains. That is ideology in one move. As long as asset prices are booming, whatever the ruling class does to bodies, especially poor and young and female bodies, is a side story. Your retirement account is the hush money. The bit about her past tough on trafficking ad just shows how this works electorally. You run on protecting victims, then you govern by protecting the network that creates them. Human trafficking becomes a talking point for carceral expansion at the bottom, not accountability at the top. The same state that will happily cage street-level offenders builds a padded, procedural fortress around elite crime. So what matters here isn't Pam Bondi's attitude or the jokes. It's the machinery you can see underneath. A justice system that treats information about elite abuse as a state asset to be rationed, monitored, and weaponized. The Epstein files are not just about what one man did. They're about who is important enough to stay off the record, and how an entire system quietly agrees to make that happen.